Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Jojo Palacio, and on this channel we talk about all things beauty. I am so excited that you are back to watch another video with me this week. I post videos every Wednesday and every single Sunday, and these videos are all about makeup, beauty, skincare, technique, application, what products I like, what products I don't like, and from an esthetician standpoint, I make recommendations based off of your skin type. I think clients forget that it's not really about what brand, it's truly about what your skin type is and how you can work these products and make them work for you. So that's really where I come from. I have an esthetician background, as well as I've worked for Sephora for 6 years now, and I've been a makeup artist for 8 years. So I just offer that all to you guys through my YouTube channel. This week I'm super excited because we are talking about this look right here. I don't know what to call it, I don't know where it came from, but honey, this is a look. We are serving a look. My complexion is flawless. Where are those pores? I dare you to find them. Where? Okay, that's what I thought. And look at this eye look, and it's so easy. This tutorial will take you step by step on how to get a flawless complexion, step by step on how to get this very glam yet simpler than you think eye look, as well as we are talking about the last giveaway of this 8-week giveaway marathon. And this week we are giving away another one of these Morphe and Mama Mitchell Deck the Halls 13-piece skincare and makeup collection. I am obsessed with this. I initially bought it for myself, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, wow, that is such a good deal. There is so much skincare, so much makeup. There's brushes in here, lip liners, face masks, setting sprays. There's so much in here, and I thought it was such a great deal because it was on sale. I ended up buying two, thinking, well, I'll keep one for me and I'll give one away to you guys. And I ended up just saying, you know what? You guys have been so supportive and so great the past 8 weeks during this giveaway that I want to give away another one. So I'm giving away the one I was going to keep for me. I will absolutely open this up and talk about what is inside of here just so you guys can see it. I won't touch anything, I promise, but it is just a ton of goodies. I love the packaging because it makes it feel like PR, but in here you get an eyeshadow palette, 2 lip liners, a setting spray, some brushes, an eye base, lip balm, mask. There's also an exfoliator for the lip. There's just a ton of goodies in this giveaway, and I am so excited. So the rules are listed below. They'll tell you how to enter the giveaway, what the qualifications are, and also follow me on Instagram. That's where I announce the winner. So now that we know what we're giving away, and I've said thank you like 1,000 times, let's get into this glam, flawless, gorgeous makeup tutorial. All right, so let's get started on this eye look. I've got you guys zoomed in. All I have on my eyes right now are the P. Louis base in the shade 0.5, which I like to neutralize the lid, and then I patted on some of my one size translucent powder to give me a good surface to work on. So for eyeshadow palette today, we are using an oldie but a goodie. It's really one of my favorite Urban Decay palettes. This is the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. I love it because it's got a good mix of shadows, both shimmers and mattes. I've broken this one, but I also like the fact that it's got a nice big mirror that folds all the way back so that you are able to truly use it, get the best use of it when you're like, you know, trying to get really up in there, close and personal. I love it. I love to travel with it. It's got neutrals, pops of colors. It's good. So we're going to use it today. So today we're taking the Makeup Shack T59 brush, which is a nice big fluffy brush to help me blend on color. The larger the brush, the larger the area that you are trying to cover. And we're going to take this shade called Weekender, which is right here. So this shade is going to be very similar to your skin tone. It is not going to come through a lot at first, but we really need that to support and help the rest of the look. And as we build the color, you'll see that. All right, so once we are done blending that out, we are moving on to still a blending brush, but yet more precise, and I'll show you side-by-side comparisons. So we're gonna take this black brush here, which is a Morphe M441, and I'm gonna go into the shade Riff, which has to be my favorite transition shade in this palette. This is Riff right here. And so we're gonna use Riff to really help us create and build the depth that's in that outer corner crease area so that we can move on to the lid shade because I'm so excited. So I like to build up a lot of the shadow on the brush, meaning I will dip into the pan until I'm able to see quite a bit of my shadow on the brush. That lets me know that I'm ready. I'm building up on the brush so I don't have to build up on the eye and create texture and lines and potentially roll up shadows. So what I like to do is I like to pat the color on the area where I want it to be the darkest, the most pronounced, which is the outer V, outer corner. And as I'm diffusing and noticing that the shadow is beginning to wear off on the brush, then I will bring that into the inner corner. Now that I'm starting to really build up the color, I like to take a smaller blending brush. The smaller the brush, the smaller the area, the more detail you're able to do. We're gonna pick up that same color riff. And again, we're gonna deposit the most of the product right where I want it to be the darkest. And then I'm gonna start focusing on areas like this very inner corner. With the smaller brush, it's easier to keep it up higher on the lid versus having to do more cleanup later. That's why I kind of switched up the color or the brush size. You don't have to, you are gonna absolutely cut the crease halfway, but I just like to work smarter, not harder. Once I'm here, I like to take a little bit more of that first shade Weekender and go back into that fluffy brush and just blend out the edges of this riff shade. That's gonna help smooth everything over. If there is any type of roughness or if we missed anything, it's gonna just make everything blend together and marry all the colors together. Now let's cut this crease up just halfway through. And so what I like to do is use a nice big flat shader brush. This specific one is by the Makeup Shack, it's T79. And I'm gonna take some more of my base on the back of my arm. Back of my hand, sorry, not my arm. And what I like to do is warm it up onto the brush. That way it's easier to blend and control. And I take it right into this inner corner and deposit most of it there because I am not gonna cut it all the way through. It's just a half cut crease. I like to make sure that I deposit most of it in the inner corner, stamp it on where the lid would naturally open up, and then we're gonna drag it to the center. But now that we are here, we are going to move on to the lid shade. In this palette, there is a shade all the way in this corner called Breakaway. This is a shade that we're going to use underneath of this iridescence beauty that we have on the eyes. So I'm gonna take a thinner, not as thick as the first one, definitely smaller than that first flat brush. And I'm going to spritz it with a little bit of my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. And we're gonna go right into the lid and we're using swiping motions. And I like to start on the edges of that eye base and pull down so that we can keep it precise and clean. And then once I'm in the center of the lid, I will apply the shadow with the same swiping motions, but I'll swipe from the outside in to keep it controlled. So let's go into this iridescent sparkle that's going on the eyelid. Today I'm using more of that Camo Cosmetics glue and sparkle. So what I like to do is take some of their glue and put it on the back of my hand. I always like to work off of the back of my hand because it gives me more control over the products that I'm applying. And we're gonna take a very fine detail flat brush. This is the one in the Morphe x Jaclyn Hill collection. It is their JH42. And so I'm just gonna literally just pat that glue on over the shade that we just put down on the lid. And with that same brush, we're gonna pick up the sparkle. I love this eye sparkle, eye pigment. I don't even know what to call it, but it is so good. So good. Okay, so before we drag this too low into the lash line, what I wanna do is I wanna take my black liner, which is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in the shade 0. As you're working that in, guys, I like to keep a smudging brush very nearby because I like to get a perfect blend with the brush versus having to go and layer too much of the liner on. Now this is gonna be a work in progress, so I don't want you to feel like it's gonna be one and done. I am going to take several different liner brushes. So this one is like one of the angled ones. And I'm gonna take some of this Jet, which is that black in the eyeshadow palette. And we are just going to work and smudge and blend until we get that done. Once I continue to build that up and smoke it out, we are gonna apply some mascara and my Lily lashes in the style Mykonos. So let me continue blending, keep smoking it out in the eye shape that you want, and then we'll be back to do complexion. All right, guys, so our eyes are almost done, not all the way done. We still have a little bit of work to do, but let's start with complexion. So for complexion, we are using two of my current favorite dupe products, and they're both by e.l.f. So this is the e.l.f. Mint Melt Makeup, but I don't know if you guys know, this is a dupe for the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. It is so good, so gripping, so long lasting. It makes your makeup just wear super well throughout the day. And then there's this guy. This is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is a dupe for the Tatcha Canvas, Pure Canvas, Silk Canvas primer, but it just helps to smooth out that midsection, get you a nice smooth surface to work with, absorbs the oil, hides the pores, all of that good stuff. So we're gonna apply that to the face. Once you are done applying that to the face, we are ready for a base. Hey! For a base today, we are using this NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. I'm obsessed with this foundation. I am using it all the time now that I'm nice and tan. I've been keeping up with my self-tanning regimen, but we're gonna take a couple of pumps of this, and we're gonna start off with a couple of pumps just because it is such a nice full coverage, very smoothing formula. I really, really like it. I'm gonna use a buffing foundation brush to blend this out. The buffing part of it just means that it is a nice dense brush, short bristles, tightly packed. That helps to keep most of the foundation on your skin and give you the best coverage possible with a tool. I get asked all the time at Sephora by clients, what do you think is better, a sponge or a brush? It honestly depends on the finish and the skin type that you're dealing with or going for. My preference personally is always going to be a buffing brush over a sponge, just because it gets me to where I need to go faster. We're going to move right along. We're going to go into bronzing and contouring. I like to do a cream contour and bronze just because in my experience it has given me the best look for photographs. It gives me the best wearability throughout the day. I don't see it getting gritty or weird. So what I use is a foundation or a concealer. Sometimes I'll use a contour stick, but more often than not, I feel like the formula in a foundation or a concealer blend better with my complexion with the foundation that I'm using. So today we're using these guys here. I am taking the Milk Makeup Flex Foundation Stick in the shade Medium Tan to use as a bronze, and then to further bronze and blend that in, we're gonna take this NARS Radiant Tinted Moisturizer and just blend away. This is gonna give me a nice glowy radiant look, which is what I'm going for. I feel like we're already in summer. You live in Florida, summer is year round, but like literally we are in summer. The sun is shining and glowing, and you just feel like when you walk outside. It's so nice. But that is what I am going to use. I like to just work that tinted moisturizer into the brush on the back of my hand and then go in and blend out that foundation stick. Such a smooth, nice blend. I love this combo. It is so good. And to think I stumbled on this radiant moisturizer, tinted moisturizer by accident. It was in like a gratis bin, and I love anything radiant, whether it's moisturizer, foundation, concealer, and I saw that and I was like, oh man, I really want to try that, but it was way too dark for me. Like Polynesia, way too dark. But I said, you know what? I can just always grab it. I'll use it as a mixing medium if a foundation gets too dark. And one day I thought I'd try it as a cream bronzer, and I really liked it. What thing have you guys stumbled upon that you were like, I can't use it for this, but I'll use it for this? It ended up being like your favorite. Comment down below because I'm curious to see what you guys say. All right, so we're blending this in. That just reminded me, you know, like God can just repurpose and redo anything in your life for his good. Like anything, he can work it and turn it for your good. And I love that. Like, as I said that, that's what I was thinking about. So just remember that today, that anything that is going on in your life, whether you are mad about it, sad about it, indifferent, happy, God can turn all things and work them out for your good. So don't ever forget that. Let's move on to our concealer. For the concealer, I am obsessed with this concealer. It is another drugstore dupe of mine. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I love this guy. This is so good. I use it in two shades. This is Light Sand and Light Ivory. So we're gonna go in with Light Sand first. Light sand, I consider it to be my concealing shade. So we're gonna use that to undo some of the darkness, redness, all over the face, whether you have a blemish or not. I just like to put it in areas where the shadows naturally fall so that we can counteract that darkness. I would just say be mindful with this because a little bit goes a long way. I'm gonna apply this mostly in the little triangle, which is that very inner corner underneath of your eyes. And then I'm gonna apply it to areas, like I said earlier, that have a natural shadow. So around my mouth, I tend to get some darkness, and I wanna kinda undo some of that darkness because I don't need that help. And then I'll take it and I'll also use it under here to clean up that contour. You can see how well this is healed up. It's only been a week. But your skincare has a lot to do with how scarring heals on your body, whether it's scarring from acne or a scar from an accident that happened. You need to watch what ingredients you put on your face. Vitamin C is one of my go-to ingredients, as well as using some acids like AHAs and BHAs. It really, really helps to just, your skin regenerates and it fixes itself basically. Brand new person, you guys. I love concealer. So I can just say that if you're someone who is comfortable with what you're seeing and you just conceal, you don't necessarily like that highlighted, brought forward look, you can stop here. It's perfectly fine and move on to setting powders. But I like to have a little bit more of a lifted look to my eyes. I've noticed as I get older, there's a couple of things that I'm not liking, but concealer can fix many things. So we're gonna just reinforce this inner corner, under eye, and then I'm gonna take this right below that wing to help further lift with the wing. And then I'm gonna apply the highlighting shade a little up higher on the forehead. And this is the one that I'm gonna take onto the nose, just the bridge of the nose, to blend that on. So you have to be very strategic with where you are placing concealer products, foundation products. Just because as I've gotten older, I've noticed that less is more. I love this moment. This right here truly just makes me like, all right, it was worth it. Is there a moment like that for you guys, whether it's brows or foundation? Concealer to me, like I know that I'm almost done when I get to this point and it brings me joy. So we're gonna set everything using a loose powder. This is the One Size Ultimate Setting Powder in the translucent. I'm gonna work that into the under eye area first with my sponge, and I like to continue that patting motion under there so that we are working it into the pores. We are blending out any creasing under the line. Anywhere that you put that concealer, guys, we're gonna set with this powder. If you're someone who's drier, you might wanna use a lighter powder or maybe skip the powder in general. This concealer, that hydrating Camo Concealer, wears really, really well either way. For my skin type, I need to set. All right, guys, now that we look crazy because there's powder all over our cream, we are going to work on the under eye area a little bit. So to work on the under eye area, what we're gonna do is zoom you guys back in. All right, so now that I zoomed you back in, we are gonna go back into our Urban Decay palette and we are going to take two different shades, Wild Heart as well as Hell Ride, which are the two pinky fuchsia shades right here. And so what I want to do to start off is I want to take that Riff shade and that blending brush, and we are just going to give a quick little wash of that color underneath of the eye. And to deepen that up just a little bit, I do want to take a smudging brush and the brown that's in this shade, it's called Good As Gone. I want something to reinforce it's not just the black. We will work our way up to the black, I promise, but I wanna use a brown to just soften things up because I don't want it to be super intense, both top and bottom. You just gotta be careful with balancing things out. You don't wanna overdo it. You wanna blend out your lines and you wanna make sure that you are thinking of it as a whole and not just compartmentalizing. Does that make sense? Ooh, comment down below if you have any questions on that, but I'll tell you what I mean. So I'm gonna take my Morphe X Jeffree Star JS10 brush, which looks like this. It's a thicker flat brush, but I like to use this for smudging, and I'm gonna pick up that brown on the very tip. And we are just gonna keep that super close to the outer corner. Okay, so you see how that smoked out, almost looking like black, but not quite. This brush right here that we used up top to blend out our liner has a little bit left of that black. We're just gonna use it very slightly over that to diffuse and to unite the two lines so that it looks very sharp, very lifted. So let's get to this very exciting moment. So I want to tie this whole look together. There's a lot of neutral with this random sparkle and then the sharp wing. I want the pink. We're here for the pink. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a flat, detailed precision brush. Look at how tiny this guy is. And we're going to pick up that shade Hellride, which is that matte pink. We're going to work with the matte first, and we're going to get that very, very close. So once you've built up that pink, we're gonna brighten it up a little bit with the other like iridescent fuchsia color. I just need something different to blend it with, something better. All right, so build up that wild heart on your brush. Get rid of the excess as much as you can so there's less fallout, and then just smudge your heart away. All right, guys, so once the pink is on, we are going to take a black liner. All right, guys, we're almost done with the eyes. For the inner corner, I want to take that shade Breakaway, which is what we used on the lid initially, and we're just going to apply that right into this inner corner. All right, guys, so zoomed you back out, that way we can finish off the look. So let's start getting rid of some of this powder because I know it's like overwhelming, but it was necessary, trust me. Some of that pink started falling off in my under eye and I was like, ah, but then the powder got me, you know? So we're gonna dust off this excess powder on the face using my MAC mineralized skin finish in the shade Medium Golden. And then to dust off the under eye area, I like to highlight as well as dust off. If a powder is a really good under eye powder, you should have very minimal powder to dust off. Your skin will automatically start to warm that product up, melt it into the foundation, melt it into the concealer, and you should have very minimal to dust off. So I want to point that out. But we're going to take this guy right here. This is the Ofra Banana Powder, and I'm going to use a nice tapered flat brush for my under eye area. And I'm going to dust off the Patrick Star one size, but also brighten in addition. Now, this is if you are someone who has very serious under eye circles or you like that bright lifted look, which is me, you can use this powder. Otherwise, you can just dust off that Patrick Star one size powder and not even think about it. Like you're good. Moving right along, let's bronze up the face and contour. To do that today, we're gonna use the KVD Vegan Beauty Shade and Light palette. I'm gonna contour with the two darker shades, and then I am going to bronze with the middle shade. To contour, I'm using this JH05, which is a very precise brush. And we're gonna keep that in the cheekbone, and we're gonna keep it swept underneath the chin as well as the temple. So that's the E or the 3 application technique. To bronze, I like to use a nice big fluffy brush. This was the JH02 by Morphe. And I'm gonna take a big fluffy brush and just warm up the forehead. Don't forget the neckline or the chin, guys. That's just one of the biggest mistakes that I see made, is clients forget to even out their face and they just have these very bold cheeks and everything else is like ghostly and pasty. So just even everything out. Look at yourself close, look at yourself from a distance. That way you know exactly what's going on and you have multiple vantage points. Is that what it's called? Ooh, we are looking bronzed, highlighted up. I am so ready for this. Okay, so next steps is I am going to set all of this powder with my Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. I am looking forward to seeing how this performs with a mask. I have to go run a few errands, and I'm obsessed with my e.l.f. setting spray. It is the best for transferability. I can put on a mask, take it off, and my makeup will look solid. So let's see how this guy does. And as that is setting, what I like to do is go into my highlight, which today we are using the NYX Born to Glow highlighter in the shade Chosen One, and my Morphe highlighter brush that is in the Perfect Angle gift set that I gave away last week. If you missed that video, look it up. If you missed the giveaway, don't worry. We're gonna do plenty of giveaways in this year, but this highlighter with this brush is like everything. Look at how gorgeous that is. All right, you guys, so I'm back with the finished look. The camera cut me off before I could show you guys the blush. So we'll talk about the lip combo and the blush together. The blush today is the NYX Sweet Cheeks Matte Powder Blush in the shade Totally Chill. I've used this in the past couple of videos if I'm not mistaken, but I'm obsessed with this. This is a very neutral, everyday appropriate, glam appropriate. I love the size of these pans, and I also like the formula. It's very easy to apply. Look at how blurred we look. I am so for this look today. Whoo, thank you. Thank you, Lord. You start off a look and you don't even know how it's gonna end up. You don't know if it's like, you know, gonna work out, if it's worth it or not, but this was totally worth it. For the lip combo today, I did a pinky nude situation, ombre nude. I felt like it was appropriate with this look. I love the way that it looks with this look. So we did the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner. I love these lip liners. If you're looking to invest in a good drugstore lip liner, these are absolutely it. This is the shade Los Angeles, and then I topped it off with what has quickly become one of my favorite drugstore matte lipsticks. This is the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink in the shade Driver. So this right here, I'm loving it, super comfortable. I can put masks on and off. I can sip on something and I don't have to worry about it transferring or breaking down. And it's as quickly repairable as topping it with a gloss or a balm, and it will like just get right into place. Love that for me, love that for you. So this is it for today's look, guys. I just want to encourage you to subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed already. Don't forget to enter the giveaway. This is the last week, okay? This is week 8. Week 8. I am so happy, so grateful to you guys for your participation. I'm so grateful because you guys have been so good. There has been so much growth the past 2 months, and it's all thanks to you guys. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. The rules on how to enter this giveaway are listed down below. Follow each and every single one of the rules. They're gonna be a little different this week than they have been the past 7 weeks, just because it's the last one. For now, don't worry, JoJo will do more giveaways, but just pay attention to that and follow me on Instagram, because that is where I announce the winner. Not only is it where I announce the winner, but we get to do a lot more interactions. I give you guys weekly motivations, weekly teachings. We do cute little videos that are behind the scenes on what's going on past this studio. So welcome, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon. I'll see you guys next time.